right, what is going on? Listen, sorry about the long intro. Just had to get everything situated here, everything pulled up on the screen. Going to research some MLB plays here for the Sunday slate 8/18. NFL can't come soon enough. We're in the dog days of MLB right now. Does anybody feel good about betting on MLB right now, right? Like it's boring. I think it's boring. For me personally, it is. But we've had a great week. We're up like 14 or 15 units for MLB alone. And going to try to find some plays, going to talk about just how I'm going about researching what things I want to look at. I have this free site pulled up right here. So if you've never seen or used Fangraphs, let me fill you in here. Tons of ads. Please excuse the ads. But Fangraphs is a great site. You can go through. There's all these things. You can sort by left-handed pitchers, right-handed pitchers, on-base percentage, average, weighted runs created, WOBA, all the things. So it's got everything you need. And this can be, you want to come up with a process for researching plays. This could be a decent starting point, in my opinion. So one thing you can do is you can sort by left-handed pitchers, right-handed pitchers, and just take a look at the strikeout percentage. Sort by highest to lowest. Boston, over the last 14 days, striking out as a team, the highest rate, 27.9% against left-handed pitchers. Simple as that. You could do that. See who Boston's playing. If they're playing a left-handed pitcher, great. Perfect match. Take a look at it. See if you like the play. Now, what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to pull it up over here for a minute. What I'm going to do is pull up another tool that I use when I research. And I've got a couple of plays already lined up, but I also wanted to just show you how you could go about researching. Again, all these guys will give you plays, and that's great. But at the end of the day, you're paying for that. You're reliant on somebody else. I'd rather have you be able to find the plays on your own long term. And if that means you don't need me anymore, you don't need my plays, great. That means you still want to see what my plays are, and then you want to come up with your own, great, even better. Now, before I get too far, because I am on YouTube here, and I'm trying to grow, if you haven't noticed, we are very close to 1,000 subs. About 30 away or something. Do me a favor, give me a subscription. I would greatly appreciate it. Sonny Gray is a guy I love for today. Sonny Gray strikeouts specifically. We can go over here, sort by market, strikeouts. Now, you can see it's a little juicy. However, already bumped on PrizePicks to 6. You're getting great odds over here. And if you are in my premium Patreon picks, say that 5 times fast, you got that first early this morning. That is a play I like. I also like some of his alt lines as well, and you'll see why in a minute. So, Sonny Gray is a right-handed pitcher. Just curious here. I haven't even looked this up. Again, I wanted to do this all just live on stream and show you how you can do this. Sonny is playing the Dodgers, one of the lower, middle-of-the-road strikeout team. 22.8% over the last 14 days. However, so that's not bad. It's not terrible. It doesn't like jump off the page, but it's not like they're the lowest strikeout team. And we're getting great odds here at a minus 131. Lots of value here. You could almost consider this borderline a plus EV bet here. Click into Sonny Gray here. Sonny. Watching a lot of the Olympics, you can tell. Look at his chart. Look at his game logs here. These are his strikeouts. Most recent at the top. 9 against Cincinnati. 6 against Tampa Bay. Curious if he's played the Dodgers this season. No, he hasn't. Okay. Or he hasn't pitched against the Dodgers this season. But look at this chart, 5.5. Now, you could probably also already see why I like his alt line as well. Alt line is a great play at 5. It's got a 95% hit rate on this line on the season. 95% in a decent matchup. Not a great matchup, but not really a bad matchup. The Dodgers striking out 22.8%. Actually, I'm curious. Look at this. I'm going to show you another thing. You go to Baseball Savant, and we could see if he has any history against anybody on this team. There you go. Look at this. This is his data against the projected lineup that he's going to face today. Actually, it looks like they even have more historical data too. So let's see. 32 at-bats against Mookie, 21.9% strikeout rate. 30% against Jordan or Jason Hayward, in 26 plate appearances. That's pretty good. I mean, look at these rates right here. Against all the guys he's faced the most often, he has real high strikeout rates, all around 30%. I mean, that's great. You don't really, it doesn't need to be complicated all the time, guys. So yeah, his 5.5 line is a great line today, in my opinion. 5.5 is a great line. If you were in the Patreon, I will drop the link in here. Drop that play in there this morning. There's a reason that the premium Patreon is important. Let me say what's up to chat for a minute. Rip Coyle, my man, trolling me the other day on that stream about the, what was it, about the Colts? Probably about the Colts. Good to see you, Rip Coyle. Love to see you in here always. Derek, new here, good morning. Ohtani struggles against pitchers who have high strikeout rates, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely. We don't have a huge sample here, just 2 plate appearances. Let me blow this up for you guys. Just 2 plate appearances here against Sonny Gray. But look at one of those plate appearances ended in a strikeout. So yeah, Derek, you're right on it. Derek, if you're new here, do me a favor, drop a sub, like the video. I'd appreciate it greatly. Curious to see where everybody came from. There it is. There it is. You got it. You get it. The old, is it a parable or is this just a phrase? Either way, I read it once in an old leather-bound book. My apartment smells of rich mahogany. Sonny Gray's a great play today. So as you can see, just bouncing around. Let's go back out here. Let's clear out Sonny. And now we're just do a little bit more research. Let me see. Let me see here. One of the prop lines I really like is pitcher outs. Pitcher outs is a great one, although it's been a little bit unkind to me lately, which is odd because for a while it was my bread and butter. So I really like looking for outs, prop set around 17.5, 15.5, right around those inning thresholds there. 18.5, and then taking the under's a good one. Hunter Brown kind of hung us out to dry yesterday on that one, but he didn't go deep into pitch counts, so he went 21 outs yesterday. George Kirby, look at his outs. Let's take a look at George Kirby. Now, recently had some struggles. Did he give up a lot of earned runs in those games? Oh, yeah. 6, 3, and 2. 3 and 2 is not bad. How many hits, though? Kirby's been getting beat up lately, huh? Let me pull some up on the side here, some info on the side. Try to keep my stuff organized here. I'm curious to see, because that brings up, let me just search for it. That brings up something interesting. All right, Kirby. I think I want to start here. So Kirby, right-handed pitchers. Let's take a look at batting averages over the last 14. They're playing Pittsburgh today. Pitt is bottom half of the league in batting average over the last 14. Low weighted runs created, below average at 83, average is 100. Actually, really low, huh? Well, now that makes me curious about his earned runs. This is it, guys. We're just going down the rabbit hole, following the breadcrumbs here. I wasn't even looking at earned runs when I clicked into it, and now here we are. Where's Kirby? There he is. Decent WOBA against him. Let's see what the historical data says. Not much. 6 pitch attempts against De La Cruz, so not a huge sample size. So I don't even think that's really that relevant. Man, Pitt. Let's see. Has he played Pitt this year? Wow, he gave up 7 earned runs. Oh, that's old data. Okay. Kirby. Let me see. What was his odds? I'm interested potentially in his earned runs. So he's gotten beat up lately, but on the season, still pretty good. This also leads me to the potential. Appreciate you, Derek. This also leads me to the potential of under like a Nerfy for this game. No runs first inning. Kind of is interesting. But let's stay on task here with George Kirby, under 2.5 earned runs. What was the line on this? Let's go back out. We'll search by Kirby, and we'll go to earned runs. It's a little juicy. Pinnacle, minus 138. All right, Caesars is a minus 142. It's not a bad play. I actually don't mind that at all. What else do I want to look at for this? Man, Pitt. I'm kind of oh, was I not sorting by last 14 days? Goodness gracious. Still lower bottom part of the league. On base percentage still low against righties. 13th lowest. Let's see, what's their weighted runs created here? Lower? Yeah, you know what? Not much has changed for me. Just gonna look at the last 7 and really pare it down a little. I'm just curious. All right. I think I like his under 2.5 earned runs. What did we say the best odds were? Caesar? Listen, guys, you're getting this live on stream. ESPN Bet has this. I like that as well. I am going to, write that down over here. Give me 1 second. Got to make sure this makes its way to the appropriate channels. I think I like that one. So if you guys are in the Patreon, there was also another earns and runs prop that I like today. And it's not saying you should do this. I'm just saying it's a possibility that you could even parlay them together and you're going to get some plus odds on that. So it's minus 142 on Caesars. I like it. Just sent that one out too. All right. That's a good play we just found on there. Little juicy. I don't know. There's not as many juice cutters on the slate today. So if you guys aren't familiar, like 140 and above, I try to avoid for the most part. But like 142, we're splitting hairs here. You're talking about fractions, so it's not a big deal. But I don't like playing things that are super juicy. So I try to find things that have a high likelihood of success, a la Sonny Gray. I don't know why I keep saying that. I watched 2.5 weeks of the Olympics. So Sonny Lee is a gymnast that I watched a ton while we were watching the Olympics. Sonny Gray, 5+ strikeouts with a 95% hit rate would be a great juice cutter for George Kirby. Under 2.5 earned runs. All right, let's keep going. I like sometimes sorting by implied probability. Let's remove some of these out. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let it fly. And you could even do plus EV betting, guys. Like if you want to bet volume, plus EV betting is an interesting thing. Let's see what we got here. What about a hitting prop? Jake Berger. Okay. Jake Berger's hitting prop is interesting. Let's see here. Let me pull it up over here on the side. Extra window here. Hits. Berger, Meister, Berger. What about Xavier Edwards? And man, he's been a little bit up and down. Didn't have a hit yesterday. Had one in 81% of the games this season. Edwards. Let's take a look at Edwards here. Let's go to market. We'll just do hits for now. What about Edwards and Berger? Both to get a hit. Let me see. Paul Blackburn they're facing. Edwards against right-handed pitchers has a slightly higher batting average, 366, as opposed to against lefties, 333. So that's good. Blackburn against right-handed batters, which is Edwards is a switch hitter, but allows a little bit more hits. How has Edwards been? You know what? Let me see if I have the cheat sheet yet. Do I have the cheat sheet? I do have the cheat sheet. All right, boys, hold on 1 second. Boys and girls, we're going to pull up the cheat sheet here. There you go. Yep. I'm going to make it cleaner. Give me 1 second here. A little live research for you. And this is a free research tool that Donuts puts out every day, and I can get it for you every single day. And you know what? We're just going to go ahead and throw it up here. Okay, let's take a look now that we're talking about Miami. Edwards is so Miami and the Mets. Let's just look at hits. Sort by largest. And who did I say? Blackburn. Right there, right in the middle, kind of giving up 8.33 hits per game. Miami batting 240. I think that's not a bad parlay at all. I think there might be a better one we can find, but you can pair Edwards hits and Burgers hits and probably get close to plus odds right there. And I think that's a fine play. But now that we have this, let's let this be our guide a little bit. And okay, not a huge sample rate. Do you want Walker? Let's see what Walker's is. Low strikeouts. What's Walker's strikeouts going to be at? I'm going to keep this open on the side, and we're just going to start looking at this now. Walker, I want to do all. Actually, I want to look at his strikeouts. Walker's strikeouts against a team that is just not striking out. What is it? 3.5? Yeah, his line's 3.5. You get plus odds to the under. Plus 102 to the under. That is interesting. Again, against the team Washington who has not been striking out. 5, 3, 4. So he's only been under twice, but man, he's really just barely hit it a few times. At a plus odds play, I think it might be worth like the risk at like a half unit or something if you're interested in that. Whoops. Let's see here. So that's something that was interesting that stuck out here. Let's take a look at actually, you know what? Walker's hits allowed actually too. I want to look at while we're here. Not available. Let's see if it is though. It might be. Might have to finesse it. That's all. Hits allowed. So it might not be a line out for it yet. What's this line going to be at? 4.5 or 5.5? At, let's see, where are we at? Give me 5.5. At 5.5. Whoa. Easy. Easy Seabiscuit. At 4.5 could be a decent overplay. If it's going to be 5.5, and let me see if I can find it on a different book that we might just not have access to. It might not be out yet. So at 4.5, it's a decent play to the over. Actually, decent alt line at 4+ too, if you're looking at that too. If you notice, all but one game this season, he's been at 4+. Let me just see if I can pull this up for you guys here, because I'm just curious if it maybe just came out and it's just not available yet, or not on the tool yet, but it is available. Let's see. Walker hits allowed. No, not out there yet. So that's why it's not there. But if this comes out at a 4.5, I like the over. If it's a 5.5, I'd probably just stay away and maybe just use the outline at 4+. But again, Washington's batting 257 over the last 14 days against right-handed pitchers. That's an interesting angle as well. That's it, guys. This is all you do. Just, I'm not oversimplifying because we're looking at a ton of metrics here, but like, it doesn't have to be, it's not rocket science when you see these people posting things. It's all just data analysis. Take a look at the data. Take a look at the tools you have available to you. What's this set at? 4.5? Mets and Marlins. Valente Beloso. Strikeout rate of 22.9% for the Mets recently. It's fine. See if we can find a little value here, actually. Sometimes I like just seeing if we can find some decent value. So this one's already bumped. Cutter Crawford's strikeouts have bumped. Wow. That's interesting. Doesn't his strikeouts end at 4 a lot? Look at that. All right, so we got that at 3.5. Okay, great play. Great play today. Cutter Crawford, let me just give you some information on that. Baltimore striking out at a rate of 22.4% to righties over the last 14 days. Cutter Crawford, 12% swinging strikeout rate, 23% strikeout rate. And I alerted that this morning. Again, guys, it pays to be in the premium Patreon, all right? The premium stuff gets out there first, and then I do this video for free. to share knowledge, show you guys how you get there. Again, teach a man to fish. Now, this line in FanDuel is bumped to 4.5. Still not a bad play to the over, but you get plus odds to the under and try to middle it. And how many times does it hit? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. Not bad. Probably not a middling I would do, I guess, but just interesting. I like the over 3.5. That's the line. That's my play. That's the better one. But as you can see, it's starting to bump and it's getting juicier by the minute. So if you were in Patreon, you got that first. You know what? I'm sorry. I should drop the link. How rude of me to not drop the link in here. If you guys are interested in checking it out, NFL is 2 weeks away. Let me know. Here we go. Let me just drop that in here for you. Drop it right in here. Bloop. There it is. Copy and paste. Simple as that. All right, let's go back. You guys love Nerfies, don't you? Everybody loves a good Nerfie. Let's see if there's one that is interesting out there right now. I think you have to refresh here, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to do that. Highest to lowest probability. And that. Okay. Highest probability Nerfie on the board is Toronto and the Cubbies. And the highest Yerfie, getting decent odds here, is Washington and Philly. Let's see if there's anything. There's a lot of free tools out here. Hit percentage. Let me see here. There is, what's this site I found? What's this site I found here? This looks interesting. Let's throw it up on the board. This is interesting. Here's a free plug for whatever this site is. Oh, yeah, it's a huge paid. I'm not liking it. There's tons of free options out here. Hold on one second. Let's see. There's a couple of free ones. Where? Oh, here it is. This is a free plug for a great free site. This is the one that's going to get a little FaceTime. You gotta put up with it. This is by team. No runs first innings or yes runs first inning. And look, you could sort by Yerfies, Nerfies. So like last 3 games, Milwaukee, they have scored in the last 3. Wow. 100% on the Nerfie. Houston, Minnesota, Baltimore, Cleveland, Toronto. Toronto was one of the teams in that game. Toronto and the Cubbies. What are the Cubbies at, though? Chicago Cubs. Woof. Okay, so they've hit the over for runs in the first inning 2 of the last 3 games. I'm sorry. 1 of the last 3. The Dodgers have a 60% hit rate on Nerfies this season. Interesting. I would have not thought that would have been the case. Wow, the Dodgers haven't been scoring in the first inning. Who are they playing today? We had a Dodgers play. Dodgers and Cardinals. What about the Cardinals? Ooh. St. Louis. Yeah, 2 out of the last 3. That might be an interesting one. I could sprinkle a little half on that. First inning, no runs. Dodgers, Cardinals. Minus 113 on FanDuel. You know what? That's not bad. That ain't a bad one. And I like the odds we're getting. You can do it for like a smaller unit play. Just typing that up maybe as a possibility. Dodgers and St. Louis. That's good odds there for that Nerfie. Minus 113 on FanDuel. Okay. That's an interesting one too. So it's better to get drilled down and get pitcher specific, but most of those tools you have to pay for. So right here, we're just really looking at the batters, the hitters. So obviously you're only getting half the equation there, but that's a decent option. I'm going to go back to player props because Nerfies are just, I mean, if you guys have bet on them before, you already know that they are very volatile and the data doesn't usually matter. It doesn't often matter, which is frustrating. especially for me, who's somebody who's loves diving into the data and stuff. So when a play is not validated by the data, I'm a little frustrated by it. So hold on, let's refresh here. We need a quick refresh. Guys, if you are watching the video, do me a favor and like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll play a video. You know I've got the people. Sooney Gray. Sooney. Mishka. It's like sometimes it's early. I don't have any caffeine in here with me. Completely forgot. Started a stream without caffeine. If I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, I'd get up and go get it. But no caffeine. And yeah, Sooney Gray. Sonny Gray. I'll get there eventually. Total hits. So we already talked about. What am I doing? Get off Burger. I don't want to look at Burger. I'm just going to, you know what we're going to do? We're going to sort by a market. I want to look at the outs again. I started on the outs and then we got sidetracked and found a good bet in there. However, so I think that George Kirby's outs is not a bad play. I'll have to look into it a little bit more before I made an official play, but as you can see, he was hammering it for a long time. And if we're playing the under 2.5 earned runs and his outs settle back out, or his hits allowed settle back out, I think that's a decent option as well for him to get the over. However, it's quite juicy though. So for that reason, it's not my favorite. Now here's one. Framber Valdez, 18.5. Like I said, I'd like to look for these inning cutoffs. 18.5, 17.5, 15.5, 14.5. All great. Framber Valdez, let's look at his outs. Under 18.5. So he's a guy that could go the distance and he could go the speed. However, let me take a look at his matchup. Probably a good matchup against the White Sox, right? Or have they been hitting better lately? I got so many windows open. Valdez. Oh, Chicago White Sox are betting 192 batting average over the last 14 against left-handed pitchers. As good as a play as that looked potentially, I don't like it. But that's what I'm looking for. Let's take a look at, Sonny Gray. Man, I don't want to play everything for Sonny today, but my goodness. Yeah, no, I don't. It's a fine play probably. Will it hit? There's a good chance it might, but that's not a play I'm going to be on today. I'm going to keep my exposure to him relatively light here. Let's see. Under 18.5. Shada. Let's see what Shada's looking at today. Toronto batting only 222. So I'd like to see that be a little bit higher. I want to see if I'm going to take the under on an outs prop, I want to see that the guy's getting rocked a little bit. I want to see that he's giving up a lot of hits, giving up a lot of runs. Is that earned runs? Oh, hits. I think there's just better plays out there. Again, could these guys absolutely get deep into pitch counts? Another free tool. You know what? Let me pull it up so I don't look like a dang fool for a minute or give some other company some free advertisements that they don't deserve. Pitch counts. It's as simple as this sometimes because I'm not going to pay for all these sites. I find a lot of good research or resources that I could use here. No, I don't want that. I want pitch counts per plate appearance by team. Oh. Let me see. Hold on one second. I know there was one. Here we go. I think this is it. Right? Yeah. Here we go. Another great free site, baseball-reference.com. Pitches per plate appearance. So this is how many pitches the hitting team averages every time they get up there. So the Seattle Mariners are the highest. They average 4.03 pitches per plate appearance. So every time a Seattle batter walks up, they average making the pitcher throw 4 pitches per appearance. So that leads me to think that the opposing pitcher of Seattle might not make it deep into the rotation here. So let's take a look at Jake Woodford. Don't even know how this is going to turn out, but this is how you could do it. Let's take a look at Woodford. No pitching outs. Bad example. All right, let's try another one. Tampa. Let's see who's on the slate today. The Dodgers. The Dodgers are on the slate today against. Glad we didn't bet the outs prop. Could be an interesting way to take the under right here at really good plus odds. They average the highest, well, one of the top 5, was it? Highest pitches per plate appearance? Yeah, 4th highest. So if Sonny's getting strikeouts, however, he's taking them deep into counts. It's taking him 5 or 6 pitches to get there. That 17.5 to the under could be interesting. You know what? Man, I wish I didn't have so much riding on him already. I'm going to write that down. That's an interesting one. I like that one, actually. Let's see if we can find one other better one that is not on a player we're already playing today. Okay. Let's see. Are the Yankees playing today? They are against Skubal, another guy I bet on. But let's take a look at what he's got for his. I don't think I need that anymore, but I'll leave it open for now. Let's take a look here. Guys, I hope you're finding this helpful. I know it's maybe, it might seem like tedious. However, wow, look at that. Skubal goes deep, though, doesn't he, into the games? Yeah, this is not one I would love to take the under. I mean, look at that hit rate. Man, it really doesn't even matter if he's given up. Even in the games, he gives up a lot of hits. Now, it is the Yankees, but let me take a look. You know what? That's not a bad play. His outs prop. Let's go back here. But it's quite juicy. I'm going to write that down too. That is quite juicy. All right, let me make this note here real quick. Okay, there. Just saving some notes here. Okay, well, let's go look for one other one here. I'm trying to find one for one of these teams that goes deep into pitch counts, and let's see if we can find an under. Nope, not runs, outs. You know what? There might be an alternative way to find it. Let's see a couple of these guys. How about Andrew Abbott? What's Abbott's at? Andrew Abbott. Under 17.5 outs. That's what I was looking for. Abbott against KC. Outs. I like that one. That's a good play. Andrew Abbott under 17.5. Wow. I like that play a lot, actually. Let's see. Best odds under 17.5. DraftKings plus 110. I'm going to throw that in here. Excuse me. Let's see what we got here. Let's throw that in here. That is a solid play. Plus 110 on DK. All right. Let me see here what you got. Tyler. Under 6.5 strikeouts. Okay, under 6.5. 6.5 is still available. Looks like it's moving in the favorable direction for you. Let me take a look at something over here and see if I can find it. Minnesota. Pull this right up here. Right there. Only started 2 games. Minnesota, 21.7% strikeout rate, 12 and 21. Okay, so he hasn't pitched a lot. Let's see. So I'm going to give you just some information here. when pitching at least 70 pitches, which I'm not saying he is going to get that, but if he pitches at least 70 pitches, he has been under this line in 7 of 10 games, averaging 5.4 strikeouts. And let's just lower that to like, let's say 55 even. 55, same. 7 of 10 games, 5.5 strikeouts. So it doesn't really change anything. So there's not really a threshold with pitching there. And the only time he's gone over, wow, hasn't gone over much at all. Hasn't had a lot of history this year. That's the only concern I have here. Let's look at his last 15 games. Under in his last 15 games, 10 of his last 15, averaging 5.9. And when he's gone over, he's only hit 7, 4 out of the 5 times, and he had one game in 2022 against Arizona with 12 strikeouts. So I think that's a good play. What were the odds at again? Yeah, I think that seems like a good play. Anything else I want to look at? Where's Fangraphs? Fangraphs, Minnesota against right-handed pitchers. 23.5% in the last 7. You know what? Let's do season. Yeah, I mean, they're lower of the league, but it's not a huge thing we're looking at. They're not at the very bottom. They're not in the teens. So, yeah, he doesn't go deep into games very often. I think that's a good play. Ripcoil, I think that's a good play. I can't, I just looked at it with live on screen, looking at a couple of things. Probably would just sit with it a little bit longer before I was like, oh, yeah, 100%. But, yeah, it looks like a good play. I don't see anything that looks bad about that at all. Gallon, 5.5 strikeouts. Thanks for throwing these out, Ripcoil. Why don't I have anything here for it? Let's see. I got nothing. Take a look here. I haven't have anything for Gallon at all, like on any of the tools. Listen, let me see if I have anything else. Otherwise, see if we can find real quick a plus EV bet. Again, just for the sake of it. Or something that, you know what we could do? So, I'm going to see if we can find something on PrizePicks here specifically. I want to give me 150. Give me more to look at. Let's look at something on PrizePicks. So what I would do, something simple you could do just for PrizePicks, and then maybe research it after, is just look at these lines out here that are juicy and find the first couple that you can get on PrizePicks. PrizePicks has very little out right now. But here's one right here. So Bowden Francis, total strikeouts, under 4.5, is available on PrizePicks. It is pretty juicy on all the books, Caesars being the exception at -121. You can get that on PrizePicks right there at 4.5. And then if you're looking for another play, right there, that'd be the next one. Marcus Stroman, under 4.5 strikeouts for the Yankees today. And there's 2 plays right there. You could put them together on PrizePicks, and you would be taxed a pretty good amount on the books, but that's a decent play for PrizePicks right there. And some days it's better than others, guys. Some days there's going to be a ton of stuff here. Other days, not so much, but that's a perfect example. And you can do that with underdog, sleeper, anything. So, all right, listen, I'm going to call it there because I gave out a handful of good plays. We found some stuff I wasn't expecting to find. And I hope most importantly, you feel like you were educated a little bit more about the process. You know what? I'm just going to go full screen. So listen, guys, we're getting close to 1,000 subs. I'm going to smash that as soon as NFL gets here. I'm going to be doing content for NFL, mainly the nighttime content. Weekends will be morning. I'm going to do a Saturday morning stream. I'm going to do a Sunday morning stream. And then I'm going to do primetime parlays. Yes, primetime parlay games. So probably go live around 7:15, 7:30, the night of primetime games that start at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And going to put together, probably we'll do some straight bets too, for sure. But I'm going to try to build out some SGPs for those. And we can build out at least one a night where we sweat it together, all right? So I got some plans, got some tools in the works. As you can see, betterbot.ai. I haven't even teased anything out, but I actually have some images and some marketing stuff because it's actually coming together quite nicely now. But I'm going to wait a little bit on those. Keeping those close to the vest. I'm pretty stoked about it, though. It's far better than I expected it to be. And I don't know if that it's a bad thing to say it, but maybe I set my expectations too low or I tempered my expectations, but it looks sharp. It's going to be great. It's going to help you bet quicker, get in and out, or if you're a researcher, it's going to help you with that too. So stay tuned for that. But listen, guys, I appreciate you checking this out. Thanks for hanging out. Derek, let's get some wins. Good to meet you, my friend. Appreciate you subbing to the channel. Appreciate you liking the video, leaving a comment, all of the above that you did. I really appreciate it. It makes it better when we're all hanging out, interacting. And NFL is going to be pretty wild. So you found me at the right time, at a good time. NFL is my favorite. We're going to go crazy. Touchdown bets, props, parlays, straights, everything. So listen, guys, I appreciate you watching, and I will catch you on the next stream. Enjoy your Sunday. Have a great day.